We've had quite a good response from the lockdown lager episode. So I don't know what we're gonna call this fucking thing. What is it gonna be called? In this recipe, we're gonna have 4 main ingredients. The first is apple juice. The next ingredient is our yeast, and then tea, and we're gonna make a yeast nutrient. The problem that we generally have is that the yeast that we use is gonna be baker's yeast. Okay, this is gonna be bread yeast. It is not a wine yeast. And so what happens is that the alcohol that we produce actually starts killing off the yeast or inhibiting the yeast, and it doesn't ferment fully. So what we need to do is create a yeast nutrient that actually allows the yeast to ferment a little bit further and create a higher alcohol drink closer to the kind of cider that we're used to. So what you want to do is you want to avoid apple juice that has preservatives like potassium sorbate or potassium benzoate. So if we look on the back here, it says here it's 100% apple juice, 10% water, and the antioxidant here that prevents the stuff from browning is ascorbic acid, and ascorbic acid is just vitamin C, and that's E300. The E numbers that we're looking for here are ascorbic acid and citric acid. This apple juice is also pasteurized, so we don't even have to heat this stuff up. We don't have to heat it up. We don't have to add any sodium metabisulfite that you might need to add to inhibit wild yeasts if you were using apples fresh. You can just use this stuff straight out of the box. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a yeast nutrient that's actually going to boost the alcohol levels and clear this product slightly. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we can take our container. I'm just going to use the water straight out of the 5-liter container, and I'm going to measure out just about 150 mils of water. So we can just measure that out. Okay, it's about 150 mils. I'm going to use about 10 grams of yeast, and we're just going to pour it into the water. Okay, give that a stir. We're just going to put on our hot plate, and I'm going to put all of this into here. And what we're looking to do is heat up the yeast for about 20 minutes, the yeast and the water, and we're going to kill off the yeast, and that's going to serve as a nutrient for our active yeast that we put into the cider. Here we are, 20 minutes later. There's our yeast nutrient, steam's coming off. I have not let this boil. I'm just trying to pasteurize it, kill off the yeast, so that we can give our new yeast that we add in, the fresh yeast, something more to get a hold of. What I've already done is I've pre-sanitized this bottle. This is the same bottle I used for our lockdown lager, actually. And if you want to know how to make the airlock for this, have a look at my video, Lockdown Lager. It's the first one. And this one will show you how to make this very simple airlock that allows the CO2 out. Okay, and I'll also show you how to just sanitize this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put our yeast nutrient. I've already cleaned and sanitized the funnel, and the yeast nutrient just goes in. It's still hot, but that's fine. And there we go. So 2 tea bags into the pot, about 200 mils of water, and just let that go for about, you can boil this for about 5-10 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. We're going to put our tea straight into our container. All right, there you go. Now we can just add the apple juice and the yeast. Okay, I'll just open that. And you can see this is actually cloudy apple juice because it's pressed fresh. So this is just pasteurized apple juice. All right, these are our first 2 liters. And the last thing we need to do is just pitch our yeast. Now just make sure your hands are sanitized or cover it with a piece of plastic and give it a good shake. We're just giving it a good shake to get the oxygen moving through it, to give the yeast a good chance to get going. Then you just fit your airlock. And there you go, your ANCider.